What started as a simple kind gesture to help someone who needed a vehicle to get to work and to go see her grandchildren in the year 2018 has turned my world upside down. I went from being the best friend ever to the worst person on the face of the earth. I lost my mom in 2018 and my dad in 2020. I lost the faith that once kept me going. I lost the trust that once kept my head held high. I lost dignity that I once thought I had as an American. I lost hope that I always held tight to when the going got rough. I lost the inspiration that I once had. I lost the motivation to fight for what is right, even though I always told my son to never give up for what is right. I gave up staying true to who I was because I have been beaten down so far that I don't even know if I can hold my hand to wave a white flag. Many in the community who know me know the struggles I had working outside my home at times. After a long decision, I decided to do childcare in my home so that I could be home with my son and provide for the family as well. I began this in 2005. When I sold my vehicle to a woman that was family to a friend, I never knew what was coming next. When the buyer of the vehicle refused to pay for the entire amount that was agreed upon, I was forced to act by taking the issue to civil court. Civil court was my absolute last resort. Civil court allowed me to regain what was owed to me. Not only did I receive the judgment in my favor, but I also received a retaliation card to go along with it. June 2019, I moved into a home in Brooks Edge with my father, brother, and son. My father was 88 years old who needed additional help since my mother had passed away and needed the added help with my younger brother who was still in school. Due to many people seeing and hearing this video, I would still like to keep the boy's diagnosis quiet for now. A few days of moving and I received a notice from the HOA stating that they had received multiple complaints of me running a daycare and that I needed to stop immediately because it was against Brooks Edge's bylaws. When I received the letter in my mailbox, it happened to be the first day I had even had kids at my home. So it was really strange to have any complaints. I searched and searched to find a way to contact the board because there was no information for this on the letter. Finally, I reached out to the board through Facebook Messenger. I introduced myself and my family and explained that the disabilities in my home required me to be close and at hand and asked if it was possible to meet with the board to talk in person. I also mentioned how I had just come from another housing area where they talked about ways to amend the wording in the bylaws so that it was not so broad. The board skipped over my request for meeting but went straight to my last 2 rental properties and questioned them about me. I asked a total of 9 times to speak with the board and was denied. During the messaging on Messenger, I asked whom I was speaking with, and the reply back was, "You are speaking to a member of the board." Clearly at this point, I knew this was not about me babysitting in my home. Fast forward to getting court papers in the mail. I responded to the mailing that said I needed to give a response before a certain date, or I would be sued by Brooks Edge HOA for having a childcare business in my home. I emailed the response and mailed the response in a timely manner before the date they gave. I also included in this letter that as a family that had occupants that had disabilities, I was requesting a face-to-face meeting with them. I never received a response back, but I did receive court papers where Brooks Edge HOA was suing me. Throughout the back and forth of discovery, I found out that there were no complaints from any of my neighbors, and the one complaint that was sent in was from the individual I had taken to civil court, and she was using the HOA to retaliate on her behalf. I later found out that the individual had a friend in common with the HOA. On and off in the year 2020, 2021, and 2022 vehicles would either drive slowly or just plain stop in front of my home to take videos or pictures. My FB page was being stalked to the point that when my father passed away and I posted something, it was back to my attorney within an hour because they were concerned the property was still in his name. I also could not understand why others were doing childcare in my neighborhood, yet I was the only one being targeted. Edge HOA was suing me. What I would like to see happen is that the bylaws be written so that it is not so broad where it can be used against a family for retaliation. If you are going to do it to my family, then it needs to be done to every family. I would like the HOA to be accountable for the actions they have taken to make my family feel unwanted from day one, including the disrespect given to us by ignoring our request